Good morning, everybody. Change of scenery this morning. Ha ha. A new morning, Wednesday morning. Wow. Everything is different. I'll explain. Turn the music down. I'll explain in a minute, but down to important business. So, welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Drink it if you got it. Ah, yes. That's good. That's good. And things are a little different, aren't they? Let me stop the music. Yes, there we go. I want to know, first of all, if everybody can hear me, if my volume level is good, if the music was okay. Somebody give me a little technical feedback if you would. I don't hear anybody. I don't see anybody in the chat, the current chat, telling me that it isn't. It sounds great, says Lewis. Super. Okay, everybody says, yes, you can hear me. But I guess I'll watch the replay and see how it came out. Where I am in my house, and I don't know how many of you remember, but I mentioned yesterday that I was going to, that I had set up the equipment that I used to use outside in my combination exercise room, editing room, workshop room. Now it's backup studio room. This gives me an alternative in case I have some problem with my regular PC or the whole setup I got in my office. It's pretty complicated. Not that this isn't complicated. This is what I got here. Got a big monitor. My notebook, it's all running on this notebook computer. Got a mixer. Nothing as fancy as what I have next door, but it does the trick. Another thing, if I have a guest here at the house and we want to have a joint live stream, one of us can use this studio, and just as a backup, I have my main studio actually online in the other room, and it's sitting there. It's live, and I can switch to it. I can get up and take my walker and go over there and continue the show. I guess you just lost my audio for a second. Any rate, let's get rid of that. Back to me, and we'll put all the technical stuff out of the way. We'll start the show. Oh, I'm a gadget freak. I'm sorry. But I do have I don't know if it's an obsession, but I got a great lens to try to make this tiny little, hardly visited morning live stream of mine technically as good as possible with the resources that I have. I take pride in that. I always have. Even way back when I started on YouTube in 2018 with my drone channel. So maybe it's a little obsessive. Maybe I don't need to do that. It is, after all, the content that's most important. But I want to have a pretty picture and good sound for you guys. That's the least I could do. So thanks for being here. If you have any questions for me today, put QQQ in the chat That's becoming a pretty standard thing in the online carnivore community. I was watching Nelson this morning on Kelsey's 6 a.m. live stream, and he's doing the same thing. So I guess that that's become kind of a convention now. You have a question in the chat, make sure you do that to draw attention to it. I've been a busy guy this morning ever since I got up, getting all this stuff ready, and barring any unforeseen disasters, hopefully it'll go off without a hitch. But if something goes off, if something goes blank, if for some reason I disappear, it will take me 30 or 40 seconds to wheel over next door, sit down in the seat, switch the thing over to that studio, regain my composure, and continue where we left off. I was watching the news for a short while this morning. I saw a story, and I don't know if it means anything or not, but they're going to start the approval process at the government level for the new series of the jabs. I hate to say the word, the jabs for this season coming up. I don't care what they come up with. I'm not getting it. I don't recommend that you follow my lead. That's a personal decision. But of course, they said they recommend the elderly and or infirm who might be at greater risk to get them. In a lesser degree, I feel the same way about the flu shots, although I never had a problem with a flu shot. But more and more, especially when I post videos about, did carnivore cause my stroke? I don't know what caused my stroke. The overwhelming response from you in the comments is the jab has caused heart problems, strokes, and all kinds of things. So, and that, I mean, is 10-1 over all the other guesses. Terry Sue says, this camera and lighting is very flattering on you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can show you, Terry. The light is coming from up here, so it's just above my head, off to my right. The camera is one of the best cameras that I have. Much better than the camera that's in my other studio. Although, a little bit better. Let me put it to you that way. This is the camera that's taking this image, the front-facing image of me, and I actually set it in front of the screen, between the chat on this side and the picture on this side, so it doesn't block anything I need to see. But because I'm always looking at either this or this, that means when I am in this scene, I'm generally staring directly at the camera now instead of always looking off to this side or that side. Now I have the YouTube chat over here, and if I look at the YouTube chat, I'll look this way. I have all the switching stuff on the notebook over there, so if I'm switching to a different view, I will be looking at that, but predominantly reading the chat, answering the questions. I'll be looking more directly at the camera. Now, unfortunately, in my other studio, as you can see, everything is spread out very, very, very wide. So I'm constantly going like this. And like Walter, who is sitting there on the table, as you can see, he's right there. I'm like a bobblehead. Like a bobblehead. And I see Elvis looks handsome too. Elvis looks as Terry Sue. Yes. I don't know. I think again, if I go back to the other camera, you can see on the wall in my what used to be drone studio and workshop, which is now multi-purpose room. I have pictures of Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, and James Dean, and they are what's left from my restaurant all those years ago, and that was the theme. Was nostalgia movies, and I had about 50 or 60 of these different pictures. When we had to close the restaurant, a lot of people came in and said, I want to buy some of them, and they did. And I probably have about 15 of them left, and they're scattered around my house. And it's memories. It's memories. So you're likely to see a picture of Elvis, James Dean, or Marilyn Monroe if you ever took a tour of this museum that I live in with memorabilia from quite a colorful, not always pleasant, but colorful life. Let's say hi to people and go over here and go up to the beginning of the chat and see. Wow, a lot of chatting already. Holy cow. Will I ever get to the top? There I am, first one in. Last night, Janelle Sobaski, how you doing? And at 9 o'clock last night, Smoothie says, see you guys in the morning. Mandy Beddoes, Lori. Yep, Wednesday mornings. 4 mornings a week now doing the live stream. I love it. Probably won't be long before I add the 5th morning. I may continue to take Thursday off and maybe Saturday because I think I conflict with Rick's, but maybe not Saturday. I don't know yet, but 4 days for now is I'm up to it and I just enjoy it and look forward to it every day. Really do. And speaking of Rick quacked in. How are you, Rick? Good to see you. Snow C. I said hi, Mitch. Tristan 471. I saw your video about people starting to watch your videos but quitting shortly after. I'm not. Oh, see that my camera's in the way a little bit here. I'm not all the way on the carnivore wagon just yet, but I'm hoping that by watching your videos, I'll get it. Well, that's great, Tristan, and we're glad to see you here. You're becoming a regular. For Grandma came in about the middle of the night. Lady June, early afternoon probably. No, that was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in the United Kingdom. She's here. Lady June, good to see you. Don Shager is with us. Nikki W at 10 minutes to 5. Good morning, everyone. And Wayne Herman from Lake Gaston, North Carolina is here. Now we're Cliff Medina, 7 o'clock. Hi, Cliff. How are you? Smoothie's with us this morning. Smoothie 420. Charlene Gale joined the private community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For Grandma, exercise the cues. Good morning, Mitch. Any wonderful new adventures this week? You're looking at it. You are looking at the adventure of me in the physical state I'm in, actually building things in my house, moving equipment around, and I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. It doesn't go. It's coming fast, but not fast enough for me. That's for sure. Mike Silly Sr., how you doing, Mike? How you doing? I do not have the bell sound effect here, so sorry. We're gonna have to do without the bell for the 9:31 of this morning. But I'm not going to be using this. I'll be using my regular studio over there regularly. I wanted to test this out today to know that if I need it as a backup or use it for a second guest or any other reason, I may have 2 people in here that need to get on YouTube at the same time. I want to know that it works, and it does. And better than the equipment sitting there unused this is probably the best thing. Michael Pregler. Michael Pregler just got back from the gym. Good to see him, Michael and Furrow Grandma. And if I'm a little off or a little slow today, it's because the buttons and the layout and all the stuff here is way different than what I'm used to. Lorraine McDermott, how are you? Happy hump day, she says. I chimed in and welcomed everybody. Sue, Smokey Bear Lover, said hi to all the Mitchfits. Steve Rogers says 9 a.m. And Karen Travis at 9:01. CB, good morning, Mitch and the Mitches. Hi, CB. How are you? How are you? Janelle from last night came back. She's here. Good to see you, Janelle. Tammy Petarch. Hiya, Tammy. Good to see you. Sandy Blythe is here with us today. And Furrow Grandma's back. Thomas Target Prime Rib. Terry Sue said good morning. We're meat pies today. Terry never runs out of meat references for us. Let me see if I can move myself up just a tad. That's better. Okay. Terry Sue wished Karen a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Karen. Good, very good. Interestingly enough, I think take a second break here, and I'll show you. I'm using, and I know this is kind of hokey, but with this little mixer, I need to have a source of music, so I have an old cell phone here, and I've got music on it. Come on. What am I doing? There it is. Okay, got music. And I think, yes. I got it. Kind of a jazzy version of Happy Birthday. So Karen, happy birthday. That's pretty cool, huh? Okay. Stop that. Enough of that. I wasn't real smooth, but I had it. I wanted to try it out. Jemmett is here with us. Jemmett, good morning. How are you? Mitch, you liked my meatloaf video. Yeah, I've been eating on it. I had it yesterday. I still got about 2 or 3 meals left in there. It's a quick, easy. Those things are so quick and easy. These recipes are not hardly recipes at all, but they sure make carnivore easy to do. Easy to do. DJ Pro's with us this morning. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. And we are edging up till 9:30. Everybody's saying hi to everybody else. Melissa B is with us. Time to start my coffee. Say the magic word, and I drink. Tanya Kitchen Witch, work Wednesday. How you doing, Tanya? Good to see you. Lori's here. Lori at 9:28 says, good morning, Mitch. Yet another Mitch stream. I hope you like these things and don't get tired of them. I mean, if I do one a week, I'd probably have a bigger audience. But I don't know. If you enjoy this morning meeting as much as I do, I'll keep doing this stuff. Got 116 people here, which is not bad. Not bad. I'd like to see 2,000 people, but I'll never get to there. I'm just not pretty enough. Sorry. Okay, Smoothie's here. Target's here. Everybody's trying to get to 9:30. Terry Sue again. Gemmin again. DJ Bro, we are at 9:29 with Sue. Carnivore Police, how you doing? And Terry Sue and Smoothie 9:29. Suspense is building up. Everybody punching that button. Chris Swain, and sorry, Gary, this morning you jumped the bell. Wayne Herman, 929. Rick, 929. And the winner this morning, ding, 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 Lewis L. Lewis, Latino from New York. Oops, I did it again. It's morning coffee time. Yes, you did. Followed. Placing right after Scotter, the Furl Grandma, Lori's Carnivore Story, Harry, Dion Haya, Harry, Lewis again at 9:30. Julia Wigger, how are you in United Kingdom? Lori again, Claudia Burkick, Marla Kelly, Haya, Marla, Furl Grandma, and that finishes up the 9:30 minute and the race to the finish line this morning. Sean Shively's here. How you doing, Sean? Drink hot green tea, so healthy. Okay. But the suggestions that I get in the emails, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all of that. I have maybe gotten 50 or more authoritative emails from people telling me exactly, with no uncertain terms, what caused my stroke. If I factor in the jab and the vax, I would say there have been hundreds of them, but leaving them out, because they take the majority. Every one of these things tells me, this, Mitch, is what caused your stroke, and here's what you need to do. And you need to take this, and you need to eat that, and you need to do the other thing, and in no uncertain terms. As if anybody could actually know which of maybe thousands of possible, really, root causes for this could have been responsible. So I do appreciate that everybody wants to help me, but you're just gonna. I usually say thank you very much. I'll consider it, but it's hard sometimes to come up with appreciative and polite answers when, in reality, I think it's very presumptuous. But I still have to honor the good intentions of people that are so convinced that they don't realize that they can't know what caused this. Nobody can. Not unless I died today, even if they did an autopsy, even if they did every medical test on me, every blood test, tested my spinal fluid, tested my clotting factors, did everything. They still couldn't know. It's impossible to know. Something, I had a blood clot somewhere, and it caused a stroke. I'm sorry, nobody can know with the trillions of cells in our bodies where this blood clot originated with any surety. It is just something I don't think anybody can ever know. A heart attack may be easier to diagnose, but I just don't know. So I appreciate that. I thank everybody for trying to help. Deborah Wisegal is here. Aaron joined us. Booby Goats, how are you, Aaron? How are the kiddies? Rick is back at 9:31. Laurie Lewis says sounds great. Gemmet is here. Cliff Medina is back. Good, good. Don't forget to put Q's in the chat, guys. Wow, I'm already into this thing about 25 minutes. This is when I asked you how it sounds. I'm responding to older things. Now, I have a choice at this point in the live stream. There may have been questions. Should I just race from here to the end and then spend some time with the most recent stuff, or should I make sure I go through all of it thoroughly? That that's always I don't know which is best. And I imagine that I'd get a 50-50 answer. Uh, I see in the latest chat, Sandy Blythe gave me a nice compliment. Said, Mitch is by far my favorite of all carnivore channels. I live for this. Thank you, Sandy. That makes two of us. That makes two of us. This is this is the focus of my life. Outside of this, I am recovering. That's what I'm doing. It's fulfilling. Why not? Why not? But I appreciate that so much. That so much. And Terry Sue says, I'm the best channel too. Thanks so much. Aaron, I am eating sardines, says Thomas. Why not? Why not? I don't eat enough sardines or anchovies. I'm trying to eat more of the salmon these days. In fact, I think I'm going to have it today. I had meatloaf for my second meal yesterday. I'm going to have bacon and eggs for my first meal. I've got my last in-home occupational therapy today. I had my last in-home physical therapy yesterday. So after this afternoon, I'll be done with any formal visits or anything from anybody, and if I think I need it, I'll go ask for it at the VA. But I think at this point I can self-direct. I think I can self-direct. All right, I'll do this maybe. Just go back and forth between the chats. I don't know if I think I have this working. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking at on my big monitor. I'll show you a little bit about what's going on in front of me here. So you can see, as a picture of me down in the lower right-hand corner. Here I am. I can't see it because I'm hiding behind the cameras in front of that. But over here, where the mouse is moving, is the chat from StreamYard. That's the one where I can hit and put it on the screen. This is the live chat from what you're seeing, and here is what you're seeing on your screen. I have that in front of me. And then on my other computer, over here, I have this. And that is my notebook, and that is the thing where I hit and change the camera, the scene the camera sees. So if I want to go back to the main camera, I go to the notebook, here I am, and I go over here and I click main camera, 1, 2, 3, and I'm back. And that's how I play producer during these streams. Is it confusing sometimes? Yes, it is. Especially, this is a little different. In my other studio, I've got the push buttons to change the scenes. I've got the mixer that has all the music on it. It makes it very easy. That mixer costs $500. I don't think since I have this little mixer that I've been using for years and years, which was expensive. It happens to be a portable digital recorder and mixer made by a company called Zoom. The Zoom H6, and people still buy it today. Excellent sound quality. It doesn't pay me to spend any money to get a fancier mixer, because I can plug my little cell phone with the music into this. Or I could have the music on the actual PC itself. And I've been searching for a program that I can do that has buttons on it, but they're on the screen. And I press the button, a sound effect happens or music happens. They're out there. Just haven't found the one that I like that doesn't throw up commercials all the time, as most free software does. Nothing's free. Nothing's free. All right, let me look for some questions in the chat that's falling further and further behind. I'm not going to go slow. I don't want to. Sorry, I can't read all that. Here we go. Claudia Burkick. Question: Are you an Elvis fan? Love Elvis frame behind you. Yeah, I've always liked Elvis. He was an icon. I've always liked him. Musically, That really wasn't my style of music, but Elvis as a personality and an entertainer always caught my attention, as he did with most people. As he did with most people. Everybody's talking and discussing the jabs. Discussing the jabs. Cliff. Cliff is talking with everybody. Terry Sue, Lori, retired Rick. Hey, I don't know if I said hi to you. I didn't get notified that Mitch was live. Yeah, well, those notifications don't usually work. That's why I used to do one earlier, one later. I stopped that. I want 9:30. 9:30 is the time I start, and it's a shame that a lot of people don't get reminded. I looked at my own YouTube feed this morning on another channel that I use to watch YouTube, and they didn't even recognize. And I always get my videos recommended. Today, it didn't even show up in my own feed. Now they don't. I don't know if they make the connection between the two accounts, but they haven't. They haven't in the past. Cliff Medina very emphatically, as I would suspect that he would, don't get the jab. I agree 100%, but I'm not allowed, nor do I ever want to give anybody medical advice. Only maybe some information to help you make the decision. Meatitudes is here. Hi, Meatitudes from Holiday Grace, Maryland. Good to see you. Good to see you. Probably one of the most mispronounced cities in the world. I don't even know if I pronounced it right. I do not speak French. The kind of French I speak is the kind of French that usually forces you to say, um, pardon my French. We all know what that. We all know what that means. Uh, Looking for the cues. Looking for the cues. Retired Rick. Nancy K. Nancy K. Thank you so much. She says thanks for your channel and $5 super sticker. Very nice of you. Always appreciated. And Ebony talks. Hi, Ebony. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Lizzie is here. Says good morning. You may think Lizzie's late, but this chat was from 9:43, so wasn't really that late. Greta Brunswick. Don't recognize that name. I have an Elvis clock and a pendulum caused them swings. we have a we have a name. You probably heard it. A name for things like that. They call those things kitsch. Have you ever heard that kitsch? It means okay, pretty or decorative in a somewhat hokey kind of way. All right, I'm trying to catch up here. Ed DLC is here. Hi, Ed. How are you from Delaware? Delaware, good to see you. Good to see you. I'd like to give everybody a chance to see their name on the screen, especially this guy, Turamir. Tuka. Tuka said, I'm sorry I haven't flashed these photos you're sending me, Tuka. I mean to. I'll probably do it. I can't do it here. But when I get back in a day or two, I'll try to remember because you send me these photos and you're doing a great job. Doing all kinds of things. Working out, getting in good shape, singing like an opera singer, and I appreciate them. And I enjoy the pictures. I just need to share them. And sometimes it escapes me in my busy life. But don't think that for any reason I don't have time for those things because I do. You're a good friend to this channel, man. Always love seeing you. Scottish, I don't have any problem with the shingle shot. I don't either. I don't either. The traditional method of inoculations was to introduce into your body a small amount of the dead virus so that your body can recognize it and make immunity to it. This is what has stopped polio and many other deadly epidemic-like diseases. There's nothing wrong with that. They are not fiddling with the chemistry at a cellular level. They are not using mRNA, which means messenger RNA. It is a chain of information that is read directly from our DNA. It is the programming code that builds proteins. Proteins are the molecular machinery of life, and there are, I think I heard, 200,000 of them that have been discovered, although the human DNA contains the code for 25,000 proteins. And these proteins are basically just folded up chains of amino acid in a certain order. The chemistry of it is mind-boggling. The chemistry of it evolved since the beginning of life. What works sticks around. What doesn't work goes extinct. It's something that I feel we're not being careful enough fooling with. Once we have invented a method that they call gene splicing, CRISPR technology, to actually manipulate this code that has been written by trial and error over billions of years, and we are not smart enough to do that. So what happens is they are basically, by manipulating, creating new genes that when read cause proteins to come out differently than the body expects them. And we don't know enough about the damage this can cause, not only to our generation, but any offspring of the people who've had their genes modified too. It's the scary stuff. It's Frankenstein stuff. We can't stop it. It might, in some cases, cure a disease or help, but the long-term implications of this are the mutation of the future human race into something that might not survive and become extinct. It is scary stuff. The reason that the public isn't outraged about this is because they don't understand it. And they still trust these mad scientists in the laboratories. I think it's a misplaced trust. The motive, I believe, in most cases, is money. But why not? I won't be around long enough to see what comes of it. I'm glad I was born when I was. I think that my generation, people that were born in the 40s, 1940s, lived, even though there was problems and strife and wars, and it was the best environment that human beings have ever benefited from in the history of the human race. I think I was fortunate enough to live at the peak of humanity, and I believe Now we are on the downside, and all you got to do is look around. Uh, it's scary. It's scary. There's a guy that has a channel, Jerry Jerry Rig Everything. Many of you might know him because he's got millions of subscribers. He's the guy that opens up cell phones, takes them apart, shows you. He builds survival bunkers. He's got a company, new company that manufactures the world's most capable wheelchair. He's quite an inventor and a great personality. Jerry Rig, Jerry, Rig Everything. And he put out a video yesterday. I didn't watch it yet, but I saw the thumbnail, and he got one of these robot dogs from Boston. Boston Dynamics, is that the name of the company? And the title was, I got this thing and it attacked me right out of the box. We are building things now that could kill us all. The rise of the machines is not far-fetched anymore. And he got this robot dog. It attacked him first thing when he turned it on. That's scary. That's scary. I have to watch the video to see what really happened. But you could look for it. Jerry Rig Everything. It's great. He's a good guy. Very entertaining guy. Kind of got a sarcastic sense of humor. A very smart guy. Nancy K is here. Hi. Nanny K. How you doing, Nanny? Good to see you. And Turamir is saying hi to everybody. And here I see some cues. Turamir, how are you, boss? How do I become pretty like you? Oh, Tuka. I love your questions. Louise Floret says, hi, Mitch. How are you doing? What time am I up to? 9:50. Ah, not bad. 20 minutes behind. Okay. Kodiak Joe. How are you? Kodiak Joe from Alaska. I would have guessed with your name. Sandy Blythe says, question, are you kidding me? I love your lives. They make me feel warm and fuzzy. Wow. That's great. That's great. Comments like that just fire me up. Glad to see it. Glad to see it. Greta Brunswick. Sounds like happy birthday, Mr. President. Yes, it does. Doesn't it? It's, so, he used to be, and I don't know if he's still around. I haven't heard from him in quite a while, but he kind of has a studio in his house, and he makes music. And he sends it to me because it was not copyrighted and royalty free. That was his creation. He owned it. And he said to me, he said, use it if you want. Because I was getting copyright strikes on music. And one of the things he sent me, it was so nice of him. It was very nice of him to send them to me. And he sent me that. That was one of the things he sent me. He also sent me, let me see if I can find it here. He also sent me this. The name of that song, I'm not going to play very much of it, or I'll get a copyright strike on this video. But that was the creation of his. And damn, if I didn't get a copyright strike on it. Somehow they managed to copyright it so that no matter who played it, they gave me a copyright strike. So I couldn't even play that anymore. So I'm pretty well stuck right now with the music that comes out of the YouTube library, put there by YouTube for the sole purpose of letting us have some music we can use without fear of a copyright strike. And that's where the Habana, the happy music that I play, This one, they come from YouTube. This one that I open my show with comes from YouTube. So we have to be so careful. Everybody always wants to try to figure out how to take something away from you. First they tell you, oh, go ahead and use it. And then they come out a year or two later after you've got it in 100 videos. Oh, well, that's copyrighted. So now you're faced with the fact that they're going to go back and strike every one of those videos. It ain't easy, folks. It ain't easy complying with all the rules and laws that they keep coming up with and changing the rules of the game. But no big deal. Everybody's still saying hi to everybody. Let me get through this and see if I could find the next question. Yeah, Meatitudes, I won the 9:30 bell by timing my comment with you. Everything is timed to the atomic clock now. The internet is. Everything is down to a microsecond. Most of us can't react that fast. But I know that the time on my watch, the second hand on my watch, follows exactly the second hand on the clock in my other studio because it's tied to the internet. And everything gets the hour at the same time. And that's why news networks on TV always start right on time, or mostly, because they're tied. Everybody, the whole world is now synchronized with the national time standard, which is run by an atomic clock. I won't get into that. Furrow Grandma says, if my doctor didn't know, the rest don't either. That's true. I was talking about the people that were giving me advice that they were certain of. And as to the theoretical implication, it could even have been something else other than what they know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And how are we doing here? Let's see. It's where you were talking about I'm the best channel. I like that. Okay. More jab talk. Looking for questions. Our grandma says, LDL going up is not always bad. That's true. Coronary artery calcium is best at 0. A lot of people don't understand why we get coronary artery calcium. You would think that in the absence of soft plaque, it'd be impossible to get calcium that would show up on a CAC score, and I think that's true, because what happens is you get soft plaque built up in your arteries from the body trying to heal systemic inflammation in the artery walls. It is not, and this is a point of misunderstanding, a blood vessel is built of muscle and other things, and inside is a lining, epithelial cells that are smooth and allow the blood to flow through. But the plaque builds up under these epithelial cells. That's where the inflammation is. The inflammation isn't where the blood comes in contact with. The inflammation is on the other side. It's behind the epithelial cells. And that's where this plaque builds up and, of course, pushes the inner lining closer and closer and shuts down or blocks the artery. Normal LDL in a healthy individual, LDL, which is not cholesterol, keep saying that, it is the vehicle that carries cholesterol and other fat-soluble substances through the blood to keep that from clogging everything up. Just like grease clogs your kitchen sink, drains. Enough of it going through eventually clogs up the drain, builds up on the inside of the wall. This is not how atherosclerosis forms in an artery. It is inflammation under the lining, the epithelial cells. And so theoretically, none of the stuff traveling through the arteries should be able to build up inside the arteries. But what happens is that all these little LDL vehicles, which we call lipoproteins, and measure the weight of when we get a quote cholesterol test, because they carry cholesterol. These things are traveling through the blood. And in a healthy individual, they're huge. They're big, fat, fluffy, and you've heard this talked about, the fat, fluffy LDLs. They just bounce off the walls. They don't stick or cause any problem whatsoever. The problem happens when we do things that damage these little vehicles called lipoproteins. We eat sugar, which damages them, glycates them. We drink seed oils and other oxidants that oxidize them. What happens when they get damaged? They shrink, and they become what we call small damaged SDLDL, small damaged LDL, and they get smaller and smaller because they have no content anymore, and they shrink. They get so small they can penetrate the inner lining of your artery. And that's what forms plaque. Once we have this plaque, it's soft. If any of it just breaks off, it can go back into the bloodstream and cause a clot. That is a very simplified explanation, but I hope maybe the concept of it means something. Maybe not every single little detail I say, but the concept of it. What the body does, oh, there's my son texting me because he hadn't heard from me yet, probably wondering if I'm alive. All good. Yep. Oh, let me just say. Okay, everything's fine. There we go. All right. I usually check in with them in the morning. It's nice to know that your children are attentive. Okay, so what happens is calcification is our way of stabilizing this soft plaque so that it doesn't break off. So if you have plaque, calcification is a good thing. And a high CAG score doesn't necessarily mean you're at any higher risk for, in my opinion, for coronary artery disease than you would be if it was soft plaque, probably less risk. Now, if you change your lifestyle, you become a carnivore, and you stop with the sugar and the seed oils and other oxidative things, theoretically, you would stop damaging your LDL, lower your inflammation, And now you're up, well, after a period of time, you become relatively healthy. You are not full of small, dense LDL particles. You are not building new, or not a lot of new, soft plaque. You don't need to calcify this. The calcified plaque that you already have has been pretty much cemented in place by the by being calcified. And if you don't keep adding new plaque that needs to be calcified, your CAC score at that point, no matter how high it is, will stabilize. In some cases, they've said it even goes down a little bit. I don't know how that happens because calcium, once it's there, it's usually there. But what I'm trying to say is that it shouldn't be too late to change your diet, no matter how high your CAC score is, if you're not having symptoms and you're living okay. You're basically just cementing in time that state of your body. And if you don't make it any worse, I would think odds are you'd be all right from here on out and shouldn't worry about an astronomical CAC score if it hasn't killed you yet. That's just my thoughts on the matter. I'm sure I can find all kinds of medical professionals and scientists to argue and debate that with me. That's why I put very little meaning in a CAG score, because a CAG score only says, hey, it is what it is. Evidently, at this, if you could freeze this in time, you'd be all right. It hasn't killed you yet. Odds are that's not the thing that's going to kill you unless it gets worse. And if you're doing something that we think eliminates the formation of new soft plaque, you're probably going to be okay. You're probably going to be okay. You can't infer. Now, they do say that in a normal human being who doesn't change anything, a CAC score will increase by 10% a year. Well, that shows you that you're putting in more new soft plaque every year and haven't done anything to try to fix the problem. And in that respect, an increase in your CAC score every year is an indication that you're not, what you're doing either isn't working or you're not doing enough of it, or you can't stop all of it because we do get old. Anyway, I don't know if that made any sense to you. Maybe you all got something out of that. Oh, let's see. Where am I? 10 o'clock? Oh, I'm half an hour behind. I'll never get through this today. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Here's a question. Have your physical therapist ever advised you to skip a day between? Yeah. It's always good to skip a day between workouts. I don't have hard workouts, unfortunately. I mean, not like I used to have in the gym. I'm not ready for that yet. So, with me, my therapy now is just doing all the stuff I do every day. That works pretty much everything. And it's all getting better and I'm getting more capable. But I'm not pushing myself so hard that like I used to, like I did with high intensity interval training. Maybe I'll get back to that. I would love to. Mitch, put your coffee donation question. Oh, Sandy says, put your coffee donation in the chat. my buy me a coffee link. Yes, I will do that. I will do that. Thank you. Thank you. There it is. Buy me a coffee if you want to help me out. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. See, you got to kick me in the ass sometime and remind me. It's not always the first thing on my mind. That's very nice when your viewers look out for you like that. Look at all the conversation. Wow, wow, wow. I'm going through it, guys. Going through it. Trying to read it. What time am I up to? 10:12. All right, I'm getting there. Peter's here. Okay. Hi, Peter. Peter says, I made it. I'm finally here again. Well, Peter, you're busy. So many live streams to be in. Oh, God. Gary being sarcastic. If you have a question for Peter, type PPP. Ah, you're all right, Gary. Uh, uh, we pick on Peter. Here we go. I'll never get through them now. Getting close, 10:24. Bear with me, folks. I haven't seen any more questions. Let's see. 10:29. Tired Rick says, my LDL was up. My doctor I had a fit. Tell your doctor to chill out. Don't take it personally. You're probably healthier than he is. I did it. No, I didn't do it. I thought I did it, but I didn't. Tristan, Mitch, how do you like your eggs cooked? Where do you get your eggs? Well, lately I've been getting the Sam's Club pasture-raised eggs, the brown eggs. They took that silly vegetarian-fed advertisement off the front finally, because after yelling about it all this time, maybe somebody heard one of my videos or came to the same conclusion that you can't have a vegetarian-fed pasture-raised chicken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Those two are mutually exclusive. You put a chicken out in the pasture, it's going to eat meat. It's going to eat worms and grubs. That's what chickens do. How can you claim it's 100% vegetarian fed? So finally they realized, somebody said to them, that is a blatant marketing slogan. Get rid of it. You're saying that these chickens are not pasture raised if they're vegetarian fed. And finally somebody. So now, did they take it off because they were afraid they got caught? Or are these chickens indeed? Now, the yolks in these eggs are a little darker yellow. They do have a chemical they can put in chicken feed, which makes yolks darker. If there's a way to commit fraud, they will find it to fool us and have us eating garbage instead of real food, no matter how hard we look for it or how much we're willing to pay for it. It's just the world we live in. It's the reason we got here. But I don't have a local farmer. I don't have, my community will not let me put chickens out in the backyard, so I have to buy best I can, and these eggs seem to be pretty good, so that's what I buy. That's what I use. And Cliff is pushing the CAC test, and I'm still not going to take one. Sorry, Cliff. No matter how much you yell and insist. Not everybody's like you. They don't. There's nothing you can do about it more than you're already doing. All it will do is give you something to worry about. That's my, and I'm entitled to do what I want to do. Yes, well, it'd be nice to Peter. He caused Mitch's stroke after all. I love you guys. I love you guys. DS111 says, "Have you heard from Spanky lately?" No, I didn't even. I don't know if I heard from him in the last live stream. I have gotten to the end of the chat, and it's time to wrap this up this morning. I did get a coffee. Wendy Smith bought me a coffee. Thank you, Wendy. Enjoying the new adventure, she says. Very nice of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So, what else? What do we got here? The last in the chat. Tammy, I don't want a CAC score. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. Why? Why? Sandy Blythe, Mrs. Spanky. CB Carmack says. Florida, you might be onto something. Maybe the acid in diet Coke eats away. Oh, yeah. I don't think so. So, at any rate, everybody, I think I was going to do it for this morning. My little auxiliary studio worked fine. I want to play some happy music here. I can do that. Play a little happy music. Say goodbye to everybody in the chat. I will be back Friday morning, but we'll be here tomorrow night, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the private community live stream. Hope to see you all there. We don't have to wait 3 days between morning coffees now. We can have coffee 4 times a week. So, see how this works out. And we'll maybe add that 5th day back in. Y'all don't get tired of me. I won't get tired of doing this. So, let's see. Flat says, bye until Friday. Melissa B, bye all. Tristan says, everybody take the rest of the day off and eat meat. I've heard that somewhere. Thank Mitch, Sandy Blythe, bye all until next time. Charger Mopar, Rick says, see you Friday. Tammy Patarch gives us a bunch of music. Peter says, you may be right there, son. I could have been the reason. Jerry Hall, waving. CB Carmack says goodbye. Cliff Medina says, bye, Mitch. And Mitch says, bye to all of you. And we'll wait for the music to end. Dance a little bit. Here it comes. Peter says goodbye. Cliff Medina says see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow night, Cliff. Here it is. And with that, my friends, you know the drill. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.